The makers of Camel cigarettes present Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective. Why are Camels by far America's most popular cigarette?
Two of the reasons are flavor and mildness. No other cigarette has Camel's rich, full flavor.
And no other cigarette offers this proof of mildness. In a coast-to-coast test of hundreds of people with normal throats, noted throat specialists reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels.
Try Camels yourself. Then you'll know why Camel leads all other brands by billions of cigarettes per year.
Here transcribed is Richard Diamond, private detective, starring Dick Powell.
Diamond Detective Agency, we make crime pay for $100 a day.
Hi.
Plus expenses. Hi, Helen.
I'd like to hire you.
No cut rates for attractive redheads.
But I'm a working girl. I only make $12.40 a week.
Doing what?
Running an elevator in the automat.
My dear girl, there are no elevators in the automat.
Oh, no wonder they wouldn't give me a raise.
Oh, that's funny.
I want to hire you to protect me from a man. He's been bothering me.
And just who is this man?
His name's Richard Diamond.
Well, no wonder he's been bothering you. You've been bothering him.
Will you take my case?
Just as far as my apartment. We'll open it up and have a party.
Oh, you're ridiculous.
Only when I try hard.
I miss you.
I saw you last night. You're just bored.
Uh-huh. And I miss you. I'm lonesome.
I'm broke. I gotta hang around and pray for a client.
Well, I've got a wonderful suggestion. Why don't you come
Uh-oh.
over? What?
Mr. Diamond?
Why, yes. Come in.
Rick, who is it?
I don't know, but I'm making plans for some extensive research.
I didn't mean to disturb you.
I don't know how you could help it.
Rick, who is that?
I'll call you back when I find out.
That's a girl.
It certainly is.
Rick!
Bye.
Now, Rick, you...
Your girl? On the phone.
Just an old wealthy aunt. She's leaving me her lumber fortune.
Oh, nice.
Yes, sit down. Sit down, Miss,
Simpson. Mrs.
Oh, yeah.
So you have an aunt in lumber.
Oh, yes. Broke one day, made $1 million the next. Discovered trees on her property. Trees on her property. Well, what are you going to do?
I came in to hire you, Mr. Diamond.
You have a kind heart and plenty of money, I hope?
My husband needs protection.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. Just snapping at judgments. Occupational hazard.
My husband is John Simpson. Perhaps you've heard of him.
The John Simpson?
Yes.
No.
He's retired. He discovered oil on his property.
Oh, that one. Oh, sure. He was responsible for my bearings burning out at 700,000 miles.
He was walking in the garden the other day.
Going to drill in a daisy bed?
Someone shot at him.
Oh.
He's all right. They didn't hit him. But I've been terribly worried ever since.
Not to mention how your husband feels.
He wouldn't call the police and wouldn't give me a reason.
But he wants me to protect him.
He doesn't even know I've come to see you.
Oh, what's he going to say?
I'm hiring you, and I hope you'll understand.
Well, I hope so, too. I charge $100 a day in expenses.
I have my own bank account.
Oh, no. Diamond
Who
Detective.
is she?
Well, Aunt Hannah.
What?
Oh, that's nice, Aunt Hannah. I think spruce is just the thing.
Aunt Hannah. Spruce. Richard Diamond,
Of course, Aunt Hannah. I'll talk to you later.
I knew it. She's a blonde.
She sure is, Aunt Hannah. Aunt Hannah.
The one with the trees.
Thinking about buying a carload of spruce.
How nice.
Am I hired?
Of course.
Then let's get out of here. Aunt Hannah might be over with a bat.
Spruce?
Of course. Well, that's how it started. A lovely blonde named Simpson with a wealthy husband. The husband had ducked a bullet in his garden, and now the lovely blonde wanted protection for him. A few casual jokes, a fat retainer, and Richard Diamond was once more in the ranks of the employed. We left the office and climbed in a station wagon. 40 minutes later, we were pulling up in front of the Simpson house on Long Island. Ah, quite a place.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, if you like money.
John's probably in the study. May I take your hat?
Well, I'll just keep it with me. Your husband might not want a bodyguard.
Well, you're back in a hurry.
Oh, hello, Ralph. This is Mr. Diamond.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Diamond.
Hello.
This is Ralph Simpson, Mr. Diamond, my stepson.
People are more inclined to think we're brother and sister.
Oh, I can understand.
Ralph was the one who suggested you.
Oh, why me?
Reputation.
Looks like everyone knows about me but the man I'm supposed to protect.
And he won't like it much at first.
I've already been briefed.
But whether he understands or not, it's most necessary he has protection.
Well, let's get it over with.
Hello, dear.
What is this, a convention?
Hello, Jane.
Hello, Professor.
Who is this man, this person with the hat?
This is Mr. Diamond, John. Mr. Diamond, this is my husband, Mr. Simpson.
Charmed.
And this is Professor Fisher.
How do you do, Mr. Diamond? Hello, Professor.
What do you do, young man?
Do?
Mr. Diamond is a private detective, dear.
What?
Now, dear, it was my idea.
A private detective?
Now, just relax.
Oh, go away, you quack. I've been relaxing enough. I can't think straight anymore. You've been making me relax so much.
If you're not careful...
Jane, I told you I didn't want anyone.
But after being shot
Did
at...
she pay you a retainer, Diamond?
Yeah.
Did she explain my feeling on this subject?
Well, yeah.
And you still took the money?
I've been poor.
I told every one of you I can take care of myself.
You know, I think he's right. Here's your retainer, Mr.
But, Mr.
Simpson.
Diamond, please.
Where do you think you're going?
Out to find the guy who took a shot at you and give him some target practice.
You've been paid a retainer to do a job. Now let's see you do it.
Oh, John.
I had a feeling you were going to do something like this. Bring in a private detective or a policeman or something. Well, if he's supposed to give me protection, that's what he'll do. Now, all of you, get out of here. I want to talk to this Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, John.
I'll see you at dinner, dear.
Now, you take care of yourself, you old scoundrel.
Oh, beat it!
Goodbye, Mr. Diamond. Nice meeting you, Professor.
Well, Mr. Diamond, I have a feeling you might regret this job.
It's possible.
I really wanted you. I was just keeping up a front for the benefit of the family.
Is Professor Fisher one of the family?
An old friend. Professor Fisher's a psychologist. After my stroke, he came to help me. He teaches me how to relax.
You had a stroke?
3 months ago. The professor has been a great help.
You have a physician also?
I don't need one. Now, as long as you're here to protect me, I might as well tell you what it's all about.
Answer me one question first.
I'll try.
Why not call in the police?
I have you. Do I need the police now?
When someone takes a shot at someone, I think the police should be the first to know about it.
Now, if you are quite done, Mr. Diamond, I'll continue.
I'm well done.
This morning, if my wife had brought you in, I would have had you thrown out. I didn't want any outsiders mixed up in this.
What changed your mind?
A letter. Here.
Type.
Oh, read it.
All right, I will. I missed you in the garden. I won't miss again. You'll pay for
Ashanti. It's in Africa.
Oh.
20 years ago, I was in the mining business. I had a partner, Frank Victor. We didn't get along, and there was an argument one day in the mine. It was quite a scrap, and there was a cave-in. I got out. Frank didn't. There was an investigation, and I was cleared.
Why tell me?
The shooting in the garden could have been any crackpot. I didn't want any publicity, so I didn't want any outsiders. Then this letter. I have to confide in someone so they'll know who to look for.
Who else knew about it?
No one that it should make any difference to. Victor was a bachelor, without a family.
Could be blackmail. Someone who was there or at the investigation.
Then why shoot at me?
To give you a good scare. You'll probably get another letter demanding money.
This person must be caught. In my position, I can't afford the scandal.
Now, you say I'm the first one you've told. Outside of your family?
I haven't told my family a thing. Even my first wife didn't know about it.
You've heard nothing of the incident for 20 years?
Nothing.
Well, I'll see what I can find out. I promised John Simpson my confidence. He offered me a large bonus if I should discover who had sent him the threatening letter. Then I borrowed one of his cars and drove back to the city, where I looked up an old friend. Lieutenant Levinson, 5th Precinct Police Station.
Well, the smiling gumshoe.
Well, hello, happiness and light. Want to do me a favor?
Depends.
You can strain your arches. I'd like some confidential information on a few people.
What is in it for me?
I promise not to tell anyone what a mercenary policeman you are.
I'd like dinner, maybe a big steak.
You'll get dinner, maybe chow mein.
You got a deal with that restaurant?
Certainly. They saved me all the leftover fortune stuck in the cookies.
Who are you interested in?
I want to know about a young guy named Ralph Simpson, an attractive blonde named Mrs. Simpson, and a man named Professor Fisher.
Simpson, and Fisher.
The boy named Ralph is the son of John Simpson.
No.
Yeah.
The John Simpson?
Know who he is?
No.
Well, unlike my Aunt Hannah, who discovered trees in her property,
Your Aunt Hannah?
Simpson discovered oil.
Oh, that one.
His wife is the blonde.
Which blonde?
The one I want you to check on, Mrs. Simpson.
Oh, how silly of me. I should have known.
Don't forget the professor.
I thought you said his name was Fisher.
I did.
How does he fit in with Simpson?
A friend of the family. Now you got everything?
Sure. Blonde named Mrs. Simpson, a son named Ralph.
He's not her son.
Well, you just said...
He was John's son.
Who's the blonde? John's other wife? John's other wife?
That's right.
Oh.
He's her stepson.
Oh. Well, why the devil do you want me to check on these people?
I was thinking about having a bridge party.
Give me the rundown on them.
Sure. Walt.
Huh?
Put your shoes on.
Oh.
I gave Walt the rundown he wanted and headed for the newspaper where I knew I could wallow through the morgue file and not be disturbed. I went back 20 years and after wallowing for 3 or 4 hours found a small article dated Ashanti, Africa, 1930. It didn't say much more than what John Simpson had already told me. It mentioned the mine cave-in and the pending investigation on the death of Frank Victor. In an edition dated 3 weeks later, I found the account of the investigation, and it verified Simpson's story. I left the newspaper, went back to my office to check on a few things. Then, as I was about to leave and close up until I'd finished the case, I got a phone call. Yeah?
Diamond,
Yeah?
this is John Simpson. I took a chance you might be in your office.
Oh, I was just coming back out there.
This is John Simpson. I took a chance you might be in your office.
Yeah, you said that.
I'd like you to pick up something for me.
Oh, sure.
It's a package. It's at a bar on 57th Street. The Blue Pheasant.
The Blue Pheasant on 57th Street.
Mr. Diamond, this is John Simpson.
Yes, I know. Anything else? Hello. Mr. Simpson.
Bring it out to me right away. It's very important.
I'll pick it up and bring it right out. Something wrong, Mr. Simpson? Hello? Hello? Funny.
Before we continue with Richard Diamond, here is an important question.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
That question was asked a few years ago of 113,597 doctors. The brand named most was Camel.
Recently, that question was again asked of tens of thousands of doctors across the country. Doctors in all branches of medicine. And again, the brand named most was Camel.
Yes, according to these nationwide surveys, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Friends, smoke the cigarette so many doctors enjoy. Change to Camels for 30 days and see how mild, how flavorful, how enjoyable a cigarette can be. Yes, change to Camels for 30 days, and you'll stay with Camels from then on.
How mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test, and you'll see. Smoke Camels and see.
And now back to Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
I left the office and went down to 57th Street in the Blue Pheasant, where I told the bartender who I was, and he handed me the package Simpson had wanted me to pick up for him. I drove back out to the house on Long Island. The maid let me in, and Mrs. Simpson met me at the study door.
Hello.
Well, hi. Where's your husband?
Oh, I think he's still in the study. He was a little while ago.
You going out?
Some shopping. You're staying for dinner.
Where's your stepson?
Ralph went out just after you left. Did you want him for something?
No. Just wondered.
Been shopping?
Oh, this is a package for your husband. Wanted me to pick it up.
Dinner's at 7.
Mrs. Simpson.
Yes?
Professor Fisher.
What about him?
How long have you known him?
Since I've been married to John.
Your husband said he was helping him to relax.
Yes. Is there something wrong?
I don't know. I talked to your husband earlier when he asked me to pick up this package. He sounded rather strange, kept repeating himself.
Since he had his stroke, he does that sometimes.
Well, shouldn't he have a nurse?
He should, but he won't. If something should happen, Professor Fisher's number is in the book on John's desk. Or call the maid.
I'll see you at dinner.
Bye.
Well, hello, Mr. Simpson. I've got the package.
Give me the package.
Mr. Simpson.
Give me the package.
Are you feeling all right?
Give me the package.
Oh, okay, here. Oh, I did some checking on your story about a shanty, and I...
Give me the package.
You've got it. Mr. Simpson. What? Hey, what's wrong? Mr. Simpson, did you hear me? Oh, I better get the maid. Maid!
Mr. Diamond?
Yeah, Ralph?
Yeah. What's wrong?
I don't know. Your father's acting... It felt like the whole building was coming down around my ears. Ralph and I were thrown back against the wall, and by the time we got up, the study was a smoking black hole.
Dad! Dad!
I stumbled in after Ralph, but there wasn't much to stumble in after. John Simpson had been blown to kingdom come.
You're sure it was Simpson on the phone?
Sure, I'm sure it was Simpson on the phone, Walt.
He asked you to pick up the package.
That's right. He wanted it when I brought it into him. He wouldn't say anything else. He just demanded that package.
He'd been pretty sick, hadn't he?
Yeah, but a man doesn't go to that much trouble to commit suicide.
No. Well, maybe somebody planted the bomb.
Look, let's check with that bartender at the Blue Pheasant.
Yeah, I want to talk to the rest of the family first.
By the way, what did you find out about them?
No police records. Can't find out much about the professor. He has no practice, no license in the state.
Well, see if you can find out something.
Interested?
Yeah. It's funny when a man has a heart condition and won't have a doctor.
I'll drag the professor in if you like.
No. You go talk to the family. I'll go over and check for the bartender.
Wait a minute, Sherlock. You better tell me how you got into this mess.
Okay, Fatty. Guess it won't hurt now. I told Walt everything the late Mr. Simpson had told me, then headed back to town in the Blue Pheasant on 57th Street. By the time I got there, the place was pretty well filled, but the bartender who had given me the package that afternoon wasn't in sight.
Yeah, Willoughby.
Where's the bartender who was working this afternoon?
How do I know? He just works in the afternoon.
Where does he live?
Why?
Well, I'm collecting addresses of bartenders. Now, where does he live?
You collect addresses. I collect wise guys. Beat it.
You mean I gotta show my little old badge?
Your little old badge? Well, when you say so.
Complex.
He lives at 500 West 157th Street.
What's his name?
Earl Collins. No relation to Tom. No relation to Tom. Well, what are you going to do?
I piled out of the bar and back in the car. Drove across town to 157th Street and 500 West. It was a big apartment house, and Earl Collins was registered in 405. I climbed the stairs and knocked. Gave him a few minutes while I knocked my knuckles loose. Then went and dug up the landlady to have her open the door. She was a charmer, about 4 years older than Grant's tomb, with a gin disposition that would make a lost weekend seem like a Miami vacation. The type that should never have been dug up.
Look, honey, I got cleaning to do.
Sweetheart.
Sweetheart.
Oh, an expression of fond endearment.
Look, Buster, don't give me no words longer than one syllable.
Cop.
Will you?
Yes, Mother.
Mother. Sweetheart. Some cop.
We'll discuss my qualifications as soon as you open that door.
Okay. Sweetheart. There you are. Holy.
You said it.
Is he dead?
As dead as he can get. Still warm.
I'm not interested. I need a drink.
Did you see him come in?
No.
Did you see anybody else come in?
I've been in my apartment all afternoon. I'm going back there.
Killer used something awfully sharp. Neat job.
Neat? What are you looking at?
What's that other room?
Hi, what's wrong?
Keep it quiet. What's that room?
Oh, good gosh, bedroom.
Any other rooms?
Hi.
Answer me.
Bathroom.
Fire escape?
Huh?
Where is it?
End of the hall.
Look, there's some blood leading to that bedroom.
Oh.
Now, shh. Take it easy. Go downstairs and call Lieutenant Walter Levinson.
Oh, Lieutenant Levin Walterson.
Walter Levinson.
Oh, goodbye.
At the 5th Precinct.
5th Precinct. Oh, yeah.
There were several drops of blood leading to the bedroom door. There was a good chance that the killer had been surprised and couldn't get out. I went to the door and tried it as quietly as I could. It gave, and I kicked it open. The shades were down. The room was dark enough to make it difficult to spot anyone. I moved in with my gun in front of me. He was standing right by the door, and he had a knife. Drop it.
No.
You should have listened.
Didn't want to.
Sorry, Professor.
Don't be. It's better this way.
Look, you're in bad shape. You better tell me about it. You fired the shot in the garden and sent the letter?
Yeah. Help me sit up.
Okay. Lean against the wall.
Thank you.
Well, I still can't figure why Simpson had me pick up that bomb.
I made him.
You did?
I've been treating him for nerves. I started giving him a hypnotic when he had his first spells. During one of those times, he reenacted the Ashanti affair.
So you decided to blackmail him?
At first. Then when you took the case, we decided to eliminate him.
We?
Mrs. Simpson and I have been... Didn't get much time. Internal bleeding.
Police will be here pretty quick.
Decided to kill the old man, and Jane would get the estate. I thought you'd be blown up with him.
Mr. Simpson was under some sort of influence when I walked into the study.
My profession. After you left, I returned and talked him into a deep sleep. I had him call you at your office. He nearly messed it up.
Hypnosis.
Nothing unusual. Simple suggestions.
And when I walked into the study...
He'd been ordered to ask for the package and open it.
You mean he was asleep when I walked in?
Yes, you see. It's too late. You'll have to guess the rest. Bleeding in. Oh.
Yeah. Well, you better lie down again, Professor. You'll have to get used to it.
Why did he kill the bartender?
Walczak and the professor had been coming into the bar for some time in the afternoons. He made friends with Earl, the bartender, and left the package with him. When he found out I hadn't been killed in the blast, he killed Earl to keep him from identifying him.
Oh, charming.
Yep, like an asylum in an earthquake.
Well, I told you to stick to redheads.
Oh, really? Well, you know any available ones?
One.
How available?
You'll have to do some extensive research.
Okay.
After dinner.
I do not do any research on a schedule.
Don't you want any dinner?
Well, sure.
Will it get cold?
Let it.
Rick.
What?
I'm hungry.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
You sing something while I go put the food on a tray and we can eat in here by the fire.
You're going to get fat and sassy.
Rick.
I take it back. You're already sassy.
You sing something. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Gonna sing for everything. Oh, dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
That's nice.
Just get the food, huh?
Just sing, huh?
I think of you with every breath I take, and every breath becomes a sigh. Not a sigh of despair, but a sign that I care for you. I hear your name with every breath I take. On every breeze that wanders by. And your name is a song I'll remember the long years through. Even though I walk alone, you guide me. In the darkness, you light my way. And all the while inside me, love seems to say, someday, someday. And when I sleep, you keep my heart awake. But when I wake from dreams divine, every breath that I take is a prayer that I'll make you mine.
Rick. Is there really anything to this hypnosis?
Well, it sure is. The old professor made Simpson open that package.
Is it hard to do?
Ah, look, I'll show you. Just sit right there.
Rick,
It's all right. Just look me right in the eye.
All right.
You're going to sleep. You're going to sleep. You just want to go to sleep. Nothing makes any difference. Just sleep. Sleep. Sleep.
Rick?
Shh. Deep, deep sleep. A deep, sharp, peaceful.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Dick Powell will return in just a minute.
To find out how well camels agree with the throats of smokers, this far-reaching test was made.
Hundreds of people from coast to coast, people with normal throats, smoked only Camels for 30 days. Each week, leading throat specialists examined the throats of these smokers. They made 2,470 examinations and reported
not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels.
Try Camels for 30 days and see how mild, how flavorful, how enjoyable a cigarette can be.
How mild, how mild, how mild can a cigarette be? Smoke Camels and see.
Here's Dick Powell with a special message.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the makers of Camels have sent more than 198 million gift Camels to our armed forces. This week, gift Camels go to hospitalized servicemen and veterans at Veterans Hospitals, Framingham, Massachusetts, and Dearborn, Michigan, U.S. Naval Hospital, San Diego, California, and to all hospitals operated for the U.S. Air Forces in the Far East. Now, until next week, enjoy Camel. I always do.
Tonight's transcribed adventure of Richard Diamond was written and directed by Blake Edwards with music by Frank Worth. Virginia Gregg played the part of Helen Asher and Alan Reed was Lieutenant Levinson. Others in the cast were Gene Bates, Herbert Butterfield, and Tony Michaels. Be sure to listen to another great Camel show, Vaughn Monroe and the Camel Caravan, every Saturday night. The makers of Camel cigarettes present Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective. Here's a question that was asked of 113,597 doctors in a nationwide survey a few years ago.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
The brand named most was Camel.
Again and again since then, a cross-section of America's doctors has been asked that same question.
And again, every time, the brand named most has been Camel.
Yes, according to repeated surveys, more doctors smoke Camels. than any other cigarette.
Now we bring you another transcribed adventure with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Diamond Detective Agency. Our fee deductible on next year's income tax. Richard Diamond, Private Deduction speaking.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, it's much too wordy to go over again.
Yes. Mr. Diamond, this is Fred Lane speaking. You once did a job for a friend of mine.
Well, if your friend wants his money back, tell him I've already spent it.
Oh, no, nothing like that. He recommended you.
Well, wonders never cease.
I'd like to hire you, Mr. Diamond. May I inquire as to your fee?
You may. $100 a day in expenses.
Oh, well, that is rather steep. But I think I can manage.
Spoken like a true millionaire, Mr. Lane.
I live at 1482 Riverside. Please get here as soon as possible.
Well, I'm pretty busy, but I'll try to.
Please do, Mr. Diamond. I'll have a check waiting for you.
Mr. Lane, go to your front door. I'm there. People who promise to have checks waiting are people for whom Diamond loves to work. I went downstairs, picked up my car, and drove to the address on Riverside. Rang the doorbell, the door opened. Then my blood pressure started doing push-ups. She was tall, blonde, and wore a dress that would have even been banned on television.
You must be Mr. Diamond.
Well, how can you tell? Don't other men drool?
Come in, please. Fred's expecting you.
Fred?
Mr. Lane, my husband.
Oh.
This way, please. Fred's in the den. I do hope you'll be able to help us, Mr. Diamond.
Well, so do I. Mrs. Lane, what seems to be the trouble?
I'll let Fred explain to you. This whole business has got me rather upset. It's in here. Fred,
Yes?
Mr. Diamond's here.
Oh, good. Come in, Diamond. Come in.
I'll be upstairs, Fred.
Of course, dear. Sit down, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you.
Well, you got here in a hurry. You're certainly true to your word, sir.
I owe it all to my Boy Scout training.
Well, here, as I promised, check.
Good. Now that we're both men of our word, let's make with some more words. Why do you want to hire me, Mr. Lane?
It's about my wife, Mary. She's being blackmailed, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, I see.
It's been going on for a month now. Finally, last night she broke down and told me all about it.
All about what, Mr. Lane? Why is she being blackmailed?
She made a few mistakes before I met her. No reason to go into that now, but the blackmailer knows all about those mistakes.
You speak as if you knew who the blackmailer was, Mr. Lane.
I do. Perhaps I should clarify that a bit, however. I don't know the man personally, but Mary tells me he was a classmate of hers during her college years.
Mm-hmm.
She told me his name was Louis Dixon and that he was staying at the Brewster Hotel on 35th. I went there this morning to have it out with him.
And?
He checked out last night.
Huh. Mr. Lane, I still don't see why you hired me. Now that your wife's told you about the blackmail, you could just report it to the police. Next time this Dixon guy calls, they'd nab him.
I'm not interested in turning him over to the police, Mr. Diamond.
I don't quite follow you.
I'm only interested in seeing that he doesn't bother Mary anymore. When you locate Dixon, let me know. I intend to give him a thrashing he'll never forget.
That's letting a blackmailer off pretty easy, Lane.
Perhaps. But if we prosecute, well, publicity and all, I think Mary's gone through enough. Like I say, all I'm interested in is seeing that he doesn't bother her anymore. Call me about 5 and let me know what progress you made. Good day, Mr. Diamond, and good luck.
And that was that. Go find a blackmailer, Diamond, so your client can beat him up. Screwy? You bet. But the $100 check in my pocket made up for my own feelings on the case, and I set out to find one Louis Dixon blackmailer. Lane seemed to think Dixon would have a record, and if he was right, Lieutenant Walt Levinson could give me a lead. It was almost noon when I parked in front of the 5th Precinct and walked into Walt's office.
Well, Ricky boy, pull up a chair. Just in time to watch me finish my lunch.
Oh, you are so generous, Walter. No thanks.
No thanks what?
No thanks. I won't have a piece of your pie.
What's wrong with this pie? My wife made it.
That's what's wrong.
You insinuating my wife's a bad cook?
Of course not. She just bakes fattening pies. They're too doughy for
How do
me.
you know it's too doughy before you taste it?
You can tell by looking at it.
That's ridiculous. Here, now let me cut this piece in two. There. Now try it.
Oh, Walt.
Go on, try it.
Well.
Yeah. Is it doughy?
Not in the least.
I guess that proves she... Wait a minute.
Something wrong, Fatty?
You've eaten my wife's pies at the house before. You never thought they were dough.
Pour me some coffee, please, Lieutenant.
You know, I should book you for swindling. What do you want down here, anyway?
Oh, just a little peek at your files.
Who is it you're looking for this time?
Guy by the name of Louis Dixon. Ever hear of him?
Dixon? No, Ralph Dixon, a pickpocket. Herbie Dixon, a con man. No, I can't place a Louis Dixon offhand. What's his racket?
Blackmail lately.
Oh, charming. Why haven't we been called in on the case?
My client doesn't want publicity. Besides, he just wants to poke the guy in the snoot a few times and tell him he's been a bad boy.
What?
Yeah, that's right. Finish what's left of your pie while I go through the files. And, Walt.
Yeah?
Have your wife bake lemon meringue next time, huh?
Oh.
I checked the files. There was nothing on Louis Dixon. I thanked Walt, went to my car, and drove across town to a little bar called the Bat's Cave. The Bat's Cave was as dingy as the name implied, but I didn't go there for entertainment. I was looking for Rabbit Jones, a guy who knew more about the underworld than Rudolph Halley. Like most informers, Rabbit Jones was a mean, whining character, and he didn't like me any more than I liked him. But he did like my money, and I liked his information. It was always a fair trade. I found him in the last booth, nursing a half-filled glass of beer. Ah, hello, Rabbit.
Oh.
Well, now that's a cheerful greeting. You must have won a horse race today, or weren't you running?
Big joke. Ha-ha. Beer.
Oh, Rabbit, you spread sunshine wherever you go, don't you?
Who asked you to sit down? Oh, Diamond, I get sick of you private dicks. Go bother someone else.
Oh, drop the small talk, Rabbit. I won't pay over the usual price, so don't make your information hard to get.
Maybe I got none to sell.
Pal, the day you stop selling information, I start knitting argyles.
Okay. Who is it?
Louis Dixon.
Where's the dough?
You know I always pay.
Well, this ain't my week for trusting people. Fork it over.
Suit yourself. There. Now about Louis Dixon.
Never heard of him. Let go of
Now,
me.
don't get smart, Rabbit. I pay for talk, straight talk.
Okay. Take your hands off of me.
I'm there.
You rough boys got to show your muscles, huh?
Oh, shut up. You don't get my money unless you earn it, Rabbit, so start earning.
Like I say, I never heard of a guy named Louis Dixon. But you know, with my contacts, I can find out about him, so drop the rough stuff.
How long will it take?
That all depends. What's this Dixon guy's line?
Blackmail. There's a chance he might have been mixed up in some other rackets the past few years.
Give me 2 hours. If he's been around lately, I'll find out.
Now make it 1 hour. I'll meet you back here.
Okay. Hey, Diamond.
Yeah?
I wish I had more nerve. If I had more nerve, I'd slip a shiv in you some night.
Oh, I wish you had more nerve, too, Rabbit. I'd enjoy beating you to pieces for trying it. On your way, punk. Rabbit shuffled out of the Bat's Cave with a slow, heavy step, like a man reluctant to step out into the sunlight. I spent the next hour checking contacts of my own, then returned to the Bat's Cave and waited for Rabbit. He came in a half an hour late, took the stool beside me, and ordered a beer before he turned to me.
Oh, you picked some tough guys to get a line on, Diamond. Oh, I had a bad time.
Stop singing the blues, Rabbit.
And if the guy has worked the rackets, he's been quiet about it. I couldn't find one guy who knew him.
You sure of that, Rabbit?
Oh, sure, I'm sure. I did find a few guys who'd heard of him, though.
Keep talking.
Now, 2 different guys were at Squeaky Horner's floating crap game the other night. And they say a guy named Louis Dixon was there.
How did they know it was Dixon?
Well, we was flashing dough around, telling everyone what a big shot he was.
But they don't know where he is now.
Well, if they did, I'd tell you. Maybe Squeaky Horner knows. He ran the game.
Well, where's Squeaky now?
When the game folds for a few days, Squeaky hangs out around a penny arcade at 3rd and Chestnut.
I know the place.
Well, Well, then go and talk to him. And leave me drink my beer in peace.
I passed a few more insults with Rabbit as I paid a check, then drove to the Penny Arcade, 3rd and Chestnut. Squeaky Horner was hunched over a pinball machine, and when he saw me, his eyes lit up like the tilt sign.
Ricky Diamond, hey, how you been, Rick?
No, not bad, Squeaky. You?
Ah, great. Hey, look at that score. Got a nickel?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Thanks. What brings you down here, Ricky?
I understand a guy named Lois Dixon was at your game a few nights ago.
Hey, Rick, there's a lot of boys drop in from time to time. It's hard. You say Dixon?
That's right.
Yeah, I remember him, a blowhard. Every time he rolled a dice, he said, Louis Dixon's the best crap shooter in town. Prove it, Dice. That's what he said.
You ever seen him before, Squeaky?
Let me see. No, he was a stranger. I got a good memory for faces. This boy I never seen before.
Oh, great. Was he with anyone you might know?
I'm afraid not, Rick. He come alone and he left alone. Wish I could help you, though.
Thanks, anyway.
Thank you for the nickel. Man, hey, look at that score go up.
Squeaky's score was running very high, but mine was still 0. So far, not one definite lead as to the whereabouts of Lois Dixon. I spent another half hour combing the known informers, but to no avail. A little after 5, I went to a phone booth and called my client, Fred Lane.
Hello?
Mr. Lane?
Who's this?
Richard Diamond.
It's Walt, Rick.
Walt, what are you doing there?
Can't you guess?
Oh, no.
Red Lane, your client, Rick?
Yeah?
Better get over here right away. You are now unemployed.
Lane?
That's right. Murdered.
Before we continue with Richard Diamond, here is an important question.
How mild can a cigarette be?
How mild can a cigarette be? Here's a good way to find out.
Make the 30-day Camel Mildness Test a sensible test based on steady smoking. Smoke only Camels for the next 30 days and compare them in your T-zone. T for throat, T for taste.
See how much you enjoy Camel's rich, full flavor, pack after pack, as your steady smoke.
See how well Camels agree with your throat week after week as your steady smoke.
You'll soon see why. Camel is America's most popular cigarette by billions of cigarettes per year.
Yes, and you'll soon be a steady Camel smoker.
How mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test and you'll see. Smoke Camels and see.
And now, back to Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Fred Lane's body lay on the floor of his den. There was a letter opener lying beside the body, and it fit the hole in his back. Tomorrow morning's paper would carry Fred Lane's obituary. It would tell where he was born, what he did with his life, and when he died. But it wouldn't tell who killed him. And that's what I wanted to find out.
Looks like you really put up a fight, Rick?
Yeah, the room's torn up a lot. Who did it, Walt?
Louis Dixon, the guy you've been out looking for.
Do you have him?
Mrs. Lane gave us the information. Seems Dixon came here to the house about 2 hours ago. He wanted more dough for Mrs. Lane.
Pretty nervy to come right here.
Yeah. Guess she figured Lane might be out. Anyway, Mrs. Lane called her husband. Fred came in, invited Dixon into the den for a talk, and sent Mrs. Lane upstairs.
Oh, well, that fits. Lane starts beating up Dixon. Dixon grabs the letter opener and kills Lane.
That's where it figures. Mrs. Lane said she heard a struggle, but her husband had told her to stay in her room, and then she heard Dixon run out, so she came down and found the body and called us.
Did you get the prints off the letter opener?
No. Miss Lane said Dixon was wearing a pair of gloves when he came in. Chances are he never took them off.
Oh, that's great. Well, Fatty, I hope you have more luck picking up Dixon than I had. Nobody around town seems to know him.
Well, Miss Lane gave us a good description. I put out an APB. What about you? You still on the case?
I was about to give it up when I phoned. But I can keep going as long as my legs hold up.
Good. I'd like to nab this Dixon guy as quick as possible.
Me too, Walt. I don't like people who go around killing my clients. Just isn't good for business. The boys were taking a body down to the morgue as I left. It looked like a hard day for my shoe leather. The only thing I could do was keep pounding the pavement in search of someone who knew or had known Lois Dixon. Cigarette stands, boogie joints, cheap boarding houses, nothing. Down to the Bowery, missions, small bars, guys on the corners.
Lois Dixon? Yeah, never heard of him.
And so it went. I headed back for my office in the comfort that comes when you sit in a chair with your feet on the desk. But when I reached the entrance of the office building, Squeaky Horner was standing there waiting for me.
Hey, Ricky, where you been? I've been waiting here a long time, almost an hour.
Oh, what's on your mind, Squeaky?
You still looking for Louis Dixon?
That's a silly question. Why?
Because I seen him about an hour and a half ago.
Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. I got a good memory for faces. After I leave the arcade, I'm walking up 3rd and I see him. Big as life.
Where is he now?
I tail him, see? He goes into Henry's flop house. He's staying in one of Henry's rooms. Not in a hall like most of the guys. He's under another name.
What name, Squeaky?
Jack Layton. You want I should take you to the place, Ricky?
Yeah, Squeaky. I want this you should.
Here's the room, Ricky. You want I should knock?
Never mind.
What?
Just hold it right there, Layton. Or is it Dixon?
What are you talking about? What's the idea of busting in here like this?
What about it, Squeaky? Is he the guy?
No doubt about it, Ricky. He's the same guy who was at the game a few nights ago.
What game are you talking about? I never seen you before in my life.
All right, Squeaky. I can take it from here. Thanks a lot.
Anytime, Ricky.
Hey, what gives anyway, bud?
Suppose you tell me, Dixon.
Why do you keep calling me Dixon? The name's Jack Layton.
Well, we'll see about that. There's one person who should be able to identify you for sure. Fred Lane's widow. Get your hat, pal. Well, it looked like the end of a hard day. I forced Layton, or Dixon, outside and into my car. Then we drove to the Lane house on Riverside. The police had left and Mrs. Lane was alone. I took my man inside and Mrs. Lane looked at him closely. I knew it would be just like the movies. She'd point and say, "That's him. That's the man, Mr. Diamond."
I'm sorry, Mr. Diamond.
What?
I've never seen this man before in my life.
This, dear children, is the story of why a detective gets ulcers. But as I was driving Layton back toward town, I began thinking. Squeaky Horner had never been wrong about a man before. And why had Dixon been so hard to locate? I hadn't been able to turn up one man who knew him. So instead of driving Layton back to his room, I drove to the Brewster Hotel, where Lane said Dixon had been registered for a week. There it was a different story. The desk clerk positively identified Jack Layton as the man who had registered as Louis Dixon. At last, things began to shape up.
Why did you bring me here to your office? I want to get back to my room.
You heard what the desk clerk said. You registered as Louis Dixon. Why?
Oh, that desk clerk was loony. He made a mistake. You heard what Mrs. Lane said. She never saw me before.
So she said. But I think differently, Layton. And up here all alone, we can have a nice little chat. You're going to tell me all about it.
I got nothing to say.
No? Well, then suppose I open the conversation. Now, that was a first sentence, Layton. Now, do I start on a paragraph, or will you talk instead?
I don't know a thing.
Okay, stupid. We'll do it the hard way.
Yes? Oh, Mr. Diamond.
Hello, Mrs. Lane. Mind if I come in?
Of course not. Please do.
Suppose we go into the den. I'd like to have a little talk with you, Mrs. Lane.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling too well, Mr. Diamond. The shock and all.
Oh, yes, of course. It must have been trying, my bringing that Layton man here for you to identify.
Well, yes, it was. If you could come back tomorrow, perhaps.
Oh, I'm afraid not, honey. No.
Very well. I'm sorry you picked up the wrong man, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, sure, yes. It's funny. 2 other people swore he was the man known as Louis Dixon.
Well, it's hard to identify someone accurately, I imagine. But I was certain he wasn't Dixon.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've tidied up the den quite a bit.
Just what is it you wanted to talk to me about, Mr. Diamond?
Well, there's no hurry, no hurry. Say, this is a handsome room. Nice house, too. And all yours, along with everything else your husband owned.
It's rather a cruel thing to say.
Oh, come off it, Mary. It was a wild scheme.
What do you mean?
I mean that you invented a phony character, a Lewis Dixon, and set up a murder with every clue pointing to a man who never existed.
You're crazy.
No, Mary. You were crazy to think a stunt like this would ever work. You hired a bum named Jack Layton, gave him money, had him register at the Brewster Hotel as Lewis Dixon. Then you had him hit some of the gambling joints and make sure people heard his name as Lewis Dixon. Then he was to disappear.
I won't stay here and be insulted.
No? Oh, soon I'll take it down to headquarters. You can be insulted there.
Well, I hope you have proof, Mr. Diamond. You'll need it.
Well, Layton was reluctant at first, but let's say I persuaded him to talk. I dropped him by the 5th precinct on my way over here.
How much do you make as a private detective, Mr. Diamond?
Oh, Mary, don't talk like that. First chance you got, you'd stick a knife in my back, too.
It was just a suggestion. After all...
No, drop it now. Well. First a letter opener on your husband, and now you try to bean me with a paperweight. Honey, you're just not safe around a desk, are you?
Rick?
Yes, Helen, dear?
I've been thinking.
Show off.
No, really. I think you should put your business on a more dignified level.
You don't say.
You should try and attract a higher type clientele.
Oh, I don't know. This Lane fellow I worked for today was no slouch.
But what happened to him? He got killed. That's the trouble with your cases. They're too dangerous. If you don't get into trouble, your clients do.
True.
You should concentrate on more simple cases for wealthy clients, like divorce cases and inheritance claims.
Oh, great. Maybe I should even carry a powder puff in my shoulder holster.
All right, so it wouldn't be as exciting. Get the same fee and you wouldn't get so many black eyes.
Then I couldn't come here to you for sympathy, dear.
Rick, I'm serious.
Okay, honey, okay. Now tell me, just how do I go about attracting a higher type clientele, as you put it?
Well, you start off by putting on a more pretentious front.
Meaning I eat more?
Meaning you act a little more dignified.
Well, do go on, Miss Asher.
You should also have someone at the office to answer the phone for you.
Oh, Helen, it only rings once or twice a day. I think I have enough strength to pick up the receiver that often.
It's strictly for appearances.
Oh, I see. Anyone in mind for the job?
Well, I have a lot of free time.
Well, fine, dear, fine. I'm glad it's free. I should be able to afford that.
And then after we build up the business... Rick, are you listening?
Oh, sure, baby, sure.
You are not. You're just waiting for me to take a pause so you can sneak in a song.
Oh, honey, how can you be so suspicious? But, since you did bring up the matter...
I should have known better.
Oh, live and learn, dear, live and learn. Take two lovers of friends. Then the world discovers, as my book ends, how to make two lovers or friends.
Oh, very nice.
Well, thank you, sweet.
Only now let's get back to your business.
Oh, who wants to talk about business? Come here.
Now, Rick, stop it. Rick, I wanted to... Oh, Rick.
Oh, now then. You were saying I shouldn't get on a more dignified level.
I was?
Oh, that's what I like. A gal with a one-track mind.
Dick Powell will return in just a moment.
What's America's most popular cigarette?
Camel is in the lead by billions of cigarettes per year.
One reason is that America's smokers have found out how rich, how flavorful Camels are, pack after pack.
Another reason is that America's smokers have discovered how well Camels agree with their throats week after week.
Are you smoking the cigarette America enjoys most? If not, start smoking mild, flavorful Camels tonight.
How mild, how mild, how mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test and you'll see. Smoke Camels and see.
Here's Dick Powell with a special message.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as a token of friendship and to help show hospitalized veterans and service personnel that America remembers them, the makers of Camels send thousands of packs of Camels to service and veterans hospitals every week. This week, the gift Camels are going to Veterans Hospitals, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Bay Pines, Florida, U.S. Naval Hospital, Memphis, Tennessee, to all hospitals operated by the Alaskan Air Command. Now, until next week, enjoy Camels. I always do.
Tonight's adventure of Richard Diamond was written by Dick Carr with music by Frank Worth. Virginia Gregg was heard as Helen Asher and Alan Reed as Lieutenant Walt Levinson. Others in the cast were Benny Rubin, Mary Jane Croft, Howard McNear, and Peter Leeds. Richard Diamond, Private Detective, is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. Be sure to listen to another great Camel show, Vaughn Monroe and the Camel Caravan, every Saturday night. Listen next week for another exciting adventure of Richard Diamond, starring Dick Powell.
Now stay tuned, for This Is Your FBI, followed immediately by Ozzie and Harriet over most of these stations.
Listen while the makers of Rexall drug products and 10,000 independent Rexall family druggists bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Good evening. This is your Rexall family druggist, speaking to you for the 10,000 independent druggists who have made the word Rexall part of our own store names and put the orange and blue Rexall sign on our windows. We've done that because we recommend and sell the 2,000 or more drug products made by the Rexall Drug Company. A good example of their quality is Bismarex, Rexall's popular antacid. Bismarex often relieves acid stomach within 1 minute. And because its scientifically balanced ingredients vary in the time it takes them to dissolve in the stomach, the relief they give is not only quick, but continuous and prolonged. Quality like that of Bismarex is what we family druggists are talking about when we tell you you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall. Now your Rexall family druggist brings you another exciting half hour with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Come in.
You Mr. Richard Diamond?
That's right, but keep it quiet and we'll split the reward.
Well, my name is Tobias P. Briggs.
He ducked as he edged through the door. If he hadn't, he'd have taken the whole wall with him. Nearly 7 feet, going up with a pair of shoulders that made King Kong look like a before picture for dynamic tension. But being a guy who lives dangerously, I shook his hand, made a mental note to pick up my scattered knuckles, and offered him a chair.
Thank you. Mr. Diamond, how much would it cost for you to help me?
Well, I usually break my back for $100 a day in expenses.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
I break a lot of back. Let's talk some more, though. Guys your size usually don't need help.
Well, I got the money. Been saving. You see, I wrestle 2, maybe 3 times a week at the Universal Arena. I promised Mike I'd put 1 purse a week in the bank. He was saving, too.
Who's Mike?
Mike Burton. He's dead, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, I'm sorry, Toby. Who was Mike?
Well, Mike and me was buddies from the Army. He was a great guy, Mr. Diamond. A real great guy.
What happened to him?
Mike drove a truck for an outfit here in town. Cross-State Trucking Company. We had enough money saved we were going to get our own truck. Maybe 2 trucks. Do our own hauling. Be in business for ourselves, you know. Last week he was fixing a flat on the highway at night. The car hit him and took off.
Oh, hit and run, huh? Well, it's a lousy deal, Toby, and I know what you're leading up to. But the police will hunt the guy down sooner or later. I don't handle traffic accidents.
Mr. Diamond, I feel maybe it was no accident.
Oh? Well, then keep going.
Well, last week, night before it happened, Mike says to me, Toby, boy, I got a hunch we're going into business real quick now. He said we might be able to buy our first truck right after his next haul. Mike knew we didn't have that kind of dough ready.
What did he say when you reminded him?
He gave me a wink and a punch in the arm. You know, like guys do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, well, I see. Now, look, Toby, the afternoon's pretty well shot anyway. I'll poke around town a little, and if I can find anything to back up your suspicions, I'll take the case. If not, you owe me 2 tickets to your next match. Is it a deal?
Yeah, sure. But tell me right away if you know something, huh? I'm in the gym every morning right behind the Universal Sports Arena, 8th Avenue. You know where it is.
Oh, sure, yes. Some of my best muscles grew up there. So long, Toby.
So.
When he walked out, the office seemed to shrink back to normal. I counted my fingers, picked the one with the most circulation in it, and put it to work dialing Helen's number. I told her I might be late for dinner, threw her a kiss over the pipe, closed the office, and headed to the 5th Precinct Police Station and Lieutenant Walt Levinson. Walt was out of his office, but the king of the jungle, Sergeant Otis, was plopped in his chair. Number 14's crossed and resting on the desk like he was expecting a promotion.
Hello, Shamus. For a guy who don't work here, you certainly hang around a lot.
I could say the same for you, Otis. Where's the lieutenant?
He ain't here.
No.
Well, he ain't.
Isn't.
Okay, he isn't. And you isn't as smart as you think you is.
Oh, hello, Rick. What's up?
Oh, hiya, Walt. Nothing, probably. But I'd appreciate a look-see at the hit-and-run files for the last week. Might be a case.
Oh. Now it's traffic accidents. Diamond, is there anything you won't do for a buck?
Sergeant, ask me for the next dance and you'll find out.
All right, cut it out, you two. Here you are, Rick. Take this note to Sergeant for our hit-and-run felony detail. It's down at the end of the hall.
Thanks, Walt.
You bet. Otis.
Yeah?
Sergeant Otis, do you mind if I sit down now?
Oh, yes, sir. Sorry, Lieutenant.
Farrar in Hit and Run gave me the case folder on Mike Burton. Except for a few details, nothing different than Toby's story. Only witness to the supposed accident was a man named Roy Cooley, Mike's driving partner. He had made the identification on the car when the police found it deserted the next day. A quick check on the license had shown it to be stolen. So another lead went down the drain. Only the fact that it had been stolen made me think that Toby might have been right when he said it wasn't an accident. I hit the street and grabbed a cab for the Cross-State Trucking Company. From outside the wire fence, there wasn't much to see. A long line of diesel trucks parked side by side. I spotted something that looked like an office and went in. There was a girl inside. No, maybe not just a girl. She parked her bubble gum and gave her blonde upsweep a pat.
Can I help you?
Well, if you couldn't, I'd kill myself.
Listen, mister, if you've got some business here, you better...
Honey, I'm looking for Roy Cooley. Know him?
That's a good one. Mr. Cooley's my boss. Believe me, I know him. He's not around right now.
Cooley's your boss? Well, if you don't mind, I'll wait.
What company are you with, Mr.
Diamond. Richard. I am, you should excuse the expression, a private detective.
A private eye? Gee, I never met a private eye before. I thought it was just a kind of story thing.
Well, it is, in a way.
My name's Patty. For Patricia. I'm sort of a bookkeeper stenographer around here.
Sounds like a big job for just one pretty girl.
Oh, you're just saying that. I really was lucky to get such a job, especially when I had no experience. Just 1 week out of business school in Popo, I go to work for a big company at $65 a week.
And what is the secret of your success, Miss Carnegie?
My second name's Jablonski, Patty Jablonski. Between you and me, Mr. Diamond, the job's a snap. See all those trucks out there? Well, mostly they just sit like that. We don't make more than 10 shipments a week. You know something? The company's been in the red the whole 6 months I've been here.
Really?
But I like it here. I can dress kind of casual, sweaters and things.
Yeah. Tell me, dear, did you know Mike Burton?
Gee, I sure did. Did you know him?
Mm-hmm. How come the boss, Roy Cooley, was driving with Mike the night it happened?
He was, wasn't he? Well, I guess that's because Tim Lasco quit a couple of days before. Tim used to be Mike's regular wheel buddy. Mr. Cooley was filling in, I guess.
Any idea why Tim Lasco quit?
Search me. In times like these, when a guy with 5 kids quits his job, he must have had a good reason.
You wouldn't have Tim's address lying around anywhere, would you?
Right on my desk. I'm mailing his last check out.
I wrote down Lasco's address and paid her off with a few compliments before I left. Tim Lasco's place seemed like the next stop until I saw a couple of warehousemen loading crates into one of the trucks. The crates were marked sporting goods in a big black stencil, and just to keep busy, I found a piece of scratch paper and took down the address they were being shipped to. About that time, a hairy hand reached over my shoulder and made crumpled spitball out of my manuscript. I did a slow turn and saw that the hand was connected to a beer barrel with legs. It talked, too.
Looking for something, mister?
Who are you?
I'm the boss, Cooley.
Oh, well, my name's Diamond. The union sent
You can
me over
forget
to...
that routine. I spoke to the union guys 3 days ago. Beat it, scram.
Oh. How come you were driving with Mike Burton the night he was killed?
Mister, you're asking for it. There's a little sign on the front gate you can read on the way out about trespassers. This is private property. Now, are you going, or do I call some of the boys?
It hurt me to admit that he had the law on his side, not to mention the lump under his jacket from what was probably the new look and shoulder holsters. I figured to do better after a talk with Tim Lasco. 20 minutes later, I was climbing the stairs of a brownstone in Washington Heights. The Lascos lived on the 3rd floor. I straightened my tie and put my best finger forward.
Yes?
Oh, hello. I'm looking for Tim Lasco.
Oh, come right in. My husband is shaving.
Who is it, Mary?
A man to see you, Tim.
Okay. All right. Excuse me. Call me shaving. Sit down.
Thank you. Tim, you used to ride with Mike Burton, didn't you?
Hey, who are you? What do you want here?
Well, I'm a private detective. Name's Diamond.
Now, Mr. Diamond, or whoever you are, I don't know nothing. Nothing, you hear? Leave my family and me alone. Will you go away? Please, go away.
Why did you quit the cross-state trucking outfit?
Honest, Diamond, I don't know nothing. Look, I've been a truck driver 15 years. I didn't like Cooley's outfit. Most of the work is at night. Too many long hauls out west. I didn't like the job.
Tim. Won't buy it.
Diamond, try to understand, will you? I got 5 kids. Give me a break, will you?
There was no sense going around again. I told him I'd be back, which he took about as gracefully as a guy learning he had leprosy, so I left. I rode downtown, squatted on a stool in a coffee shop with a good view of the cross-state warehouse. The coffee shop had a waitress who was as ugly as the warehouse.
Got a 75-cent dinner special. You interested?
I'll have a little coffee and...
A lot of donuts.
Oh, well, then coffee and conversation.
Is there any chance of you taking me away from all this?
Wouldn't work out. I drink.
I'll reform you. Want cream?
No.
1 black. How come you're staring at that warehouse instead of me? Want to give me a complex? What's the matter? Did I say a dirty word?
We kicked it around until the warehouse was empty, except for a muscle-bound night watchman who chain smoked behind the front gate. It was a short walk to the fence behind the loading dock. A garbage can and some fancy scrambling helped me over. And then I squirreled under the line of trucks until I reached the one they'd loaded that afternoon. The crates were nailed tight, and it took a lot of scratching and pulling before I wedged one open. About then, I heard 3 pairs of feet echoing down the loading platform. I ducked out of the truck, but that half-open crate must have missed me after all the time we'd spent together because it spilled over and turned loose a shower of baseball bats. I grabbed one since it seemed like a good idea and snuggled up against the huge tires under the truck.
Who's there? Hey, Red, you let anyone in?
Not me, boy.
Whoever you are, Buster, you better come out with your hands up. We got guns. Okay, Red, you and Harry stay out in front of the trucks. I'll go coax our visitor out.
He was poking around gun first in each truck and then around it. Sooner or later, he was going to reach my truck. So I sprinted across an open 10 yards until I got into a friendly shot of the next truck in line.
right, stay where you are. I can see you.
He was lying, and I knew it because I couldn't even see myself. There were 3 more trucks ahead of me, 3 more open spaces. Then I'd be at the back fence. I closed my mouth so my teeth wouldn't shine like a beaver at a dentist convention and moved. I reached the last truck and waited. The glint of his gun barrel kept coming at me like a one-eyed cat. I held the bat ready. It must have been a well-balanced hunk of wood because it felt like a feather in my fist. The bat cracked wide open like an overboiled hot dog, but it stretched coolly out. I didn't wait for the others to find out what happened, but I took off over that back fence like a kangaroo with his tail on fire. Once I made the street, I caught a cruising cab and relaxed until my breath caught up with me. The broken bat handle was still in my hand. I was about to chalk it up as an inferior bat until a closer look changed my mind. The inside of the bat was as hollow as a politician's promise, and it wasn't for ventilation. It was there to hide something that had to be hidden.
You're listening to Richard Diamond, Private Detective, brought to you by the makers of Rexall Drug Products and your Rexall family druggist. And here he is.
A lot of people think that during the summer they don't need to worry about the dangers of vitamin deficiency. But the truth is, vitamin deficiency is no respecter of seasons.
You mean we're just as likely to be low on vitamins during the summer as any other time?
Exactly, ma'am. And that's why I tell my customers to continue supplementing their daily diet with Rexall Plenamins.
What?
Plenamins. Rexall's famous multivitamin capsules. You see, ma'am, just 2 Plenamin capsules a day give you more than your daily minimum requirement of every vitamin for which such requirements have been established.
Say, that's really vitamin protection.
But that's not all. Plenamins also give you valuable liver concentrate and iron, plus other factors of the vitamin B complex.
Gee, they sound expensive.
On the contrary, Plenamins cost you only pennies a day. But most important, Plenamins wear the Rexall label, and you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Now back to tonight's adventure with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
So I had the stump of a hollow baseball bat in my hand and a half dozen theories about why it was hollow. But none of my theories proved any connection between a phony trucking outfit and Mike Burton being killed by a hit-and-run driver. I put the bat under lock and key in my office desk, then stopped at the Hall of Records where Pop McIntyre handles the night watchman chores. Under registered corporations, I found the Cross-State Trucking Company and the up-to-now unknown name of Harry Fenner listed as its head. I thanked Pop, then went across town to check through the newspaper morgue at the Tribune. It was an all-night job because I had to dig back to 1926 before the name of Harry Fenner sprang off the yellow pages. He used to be a small-time bootlegger, but I couldn't hold that against him. Some of the biggest bootleggers had gone straight and become used car salesmen. I had breakfast before dropping in at the Universal Gym to see Toby. The king-sized client of mine was being mauled in the center of the ring while a chunky little guy in a black beret was hopping around full of advice.
No, Toby. You're wrestling with King Kong Rabinowitz, not Snow White. Use your knees. On his nose.
Okay. How's this?
No, don't overdo it. You hide his face from the television camera too long. What's the good if no one sees him suffer?
Hey, Toby.
Oh, hiya, Mr. Diamond. Ziggy will be back in a minute.
I know you're busy, Toby, so I won't waste time.
You found out something about Mike, didn't you? I was right, huh?
Well, let's just say that I'm taking the case. Toby, now think hard. Did Mike ever say anything about baseball bats? Anything?
Baseball bat.
Yeah?
Sunday before Mike was killed. Yeah, he said something kind of funny. He said maybe he'd hit a home run pretty soon. And Mike never played baseball.
Oh. Toby, when you get through here, meet me in my office. I'll tell you what I've got, and we can take it from there.
Okay. See you soon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Diamond. My name is, Harry Fenner.
Oh. Well, who are those 2 bullet-headed characters with you?
They're my business associates.
Oh, you must be in a rotten business. How'd you get in here? I just had the exterminators over last week.
Oh, well, I'm afraid I owe you for a new lock. I'll just add it to the retainer I'm going to pay you.
Oh, you're going to hire me?
I have here $500, which I place on your desk. Earning it will be easy.
Under whose nails do I put the bamboo splints?
I hope your good humor continues. The fact is, Diamond, I collect odd things like antique furniture, marine life specimens, and old bat handles. Someone stole one of my old bat handles. Money's yours if you can locate it.
Something like that would be worth more than money to me. An old bat handle would go just right with my collection of old saxophone reeds and croquet mallets.
Is that your polite way of saying no?
No, it's my impolite way of saying that a certain bat handle is going to win you the hottest seat in Sing Sing. And if you think I'm bluffing, let's see what they think down at the 5th Precinct.
Put down that phone.
Ooh. He cracked me across the knuckles with a cane he was carrying, and my left hand took the day off. Then Fenner turned to his 2 happiness boys.
Gentlemen, Mr. Diamond is stubborn. Unstubborn him.
His 2 blood collectors came after me like there was a shortage of plasma. I dodged around the desk like a loose guinea pig in a biology class and finally managed to locate a stomach for my one good hand. I sunk it in up to my charm bracelet. But before I could enjoy the reaction, a fistful of dimes creased the back of my head and I came apart. I don't know how long it was before my eyes unglued. I was on my back enjoying a bug's eye view of the ceiling, but that's all I was enjoying. My head felt like a yo-yo being worked by a guy with the DTs. And then something big leaned over me.
Mr. Diamond? Mr. Diamond, you okay?
Oh, yeah, dandy. Oh, Toby, if I felt any worse, I'd be dead.
Oh, that's too bad. It's a good thing I got here. Those guys are doing a swell job on you for real.
Oh, things came back into focus. Fenner's muscle men were draped over each other in the middle of the floor, quietly unconscious. It was becoming.
I had to get pretty rough with them. It was 2 against 1. Them and me, I mean. What's it all about, Mr. Diamond?
I gave Toby a quick resume about Fenner, Cooley, and the phony trucking business, including the hollow bats. As he listened, I saw new muscles growing on his old ones. He wasn't interested in details.
Mr. Diamond, did this Fenner guy kill Mike?
Well, Toby, I think Mike found out that Fenner and Cooley were shipping hot goods, probably jewels, in the hollow bats. If he did, I think maybe Fenner killed him.
Where does this Fenner guy live?
Oh, wait a minute. It's here on my desk. I was just going to give it to the police when I was crudely interrupted.
No, don't call the cops. Give me that address.
Well, what's the idea, Toby? We've got the score. It's a cop's job now.
No, I say no. This Fenner, he got lots of dough. If he did kill Mike, he gets a big lawyer and he goes free. I don't want that, Mr. Diamond. I'll find out.
I tried to cool him down, keep him in the office. Then I found myself airborne. He bounced me against the wall, and I decided not to do anything until the room stopped circuiting.
Sorry about this, Mr. Diamond, because you're an all right guy. But don't try to stop me on this.
I got up and weaved over to my desk, phoned Walt, and gave him Fenner's address in Long Island.
Why should I meet you there?
Murder, Walt, and bring some friends. Fenner's house was a big white colonial with high French windows looking out on a big garden. The windows were closer, so I moved up and looked in. The room was a library, or what was left of it. Toby had torn it apart and was now concentrating on Fenner. He had him backed up against a tall bookcase, holding him by the front of his smoking jacket, high enough so Fenner's toes pointed down, trying to touch the carpet a good foot beneath. Toby had the jacket pulled tightly around Fenner's throat, and Fenner was trying for the $64 breath.
What you kill him for? Come on, what you kill him for?
Hey, Toby, let him go.
Oh, he's going to tell me. You stay out of this. He's going to tell me or I break his fat neck.
He's too choked up, Toby. Couldn't answer you if you wanted to. Now let him down. Let him down.
Okay. Now, talk, Fenner, talk.
Diamond, get this maniac away from me. Well, ask me something simple, like moving the Empire State Building. You better talk, Fenner.
I don't know what you want.
You're a liar. No, liar. All right.
That's better. Now, why'd you kill Mike?
He was loading some of the bats. When one broke open and...
Come on. The diamond spilled out.
He wanted a cut. Big cut. So
So I had Cooley make the last trip with him. I was following in a hot car. That's it. Now let me go, will you?
Kill a nice guy like that.
He would have framed me.
You're a liar. Now I'm going to kill you.
Toby! Toby! Toby grabbed Fenner, and I grabbed Toby. But it was like trying to put the brakes on a charging elephant. Toby hung on to Fenner's throat and shook me loose. Fenner was dying fast. And it looked like I couldn't do much about it until the door opened and trouble sneaked in from left field. Cooley.
Break it up! Break it up!
Cooley. Cooley, help me. Help me. You better relax, Toby. That gun in Mr. Cooley's hand gives him the floor.
He's the other one, ain't he, Mr. Diamond?
Cooley. Cooley, give it to him. Right in the middle. And then I heard the heavenly sound of flat feet. Cooley half turned for a moment, but it was enough for me to push Toby behind a couch and dive in after him.
Quick! Cooley, let him have it!
Cooley spun back around and tried his luck anyway, but missed. He and Fenner made a rush for the window, but some of Walt's men were waiting for them. They tried to shoot it out. Cooley never got more than 1 foot over the windowsill. Fenner did better, but he was dead when he hit the ground.
Rick, are you all right, Rick?
Oh, if it wasn't, you'd never hear the end of it.
Mr. Diamond, you don't really believe what that punk said about Mike, do you? Mike was a straight guy all his life.
Toby, this clean-cut gentleman standing right next to me is Lieutenant Walter Levinson of Homicide.
Right.
What I tell him is official, so you listen. Look, Walt, Fenner and Cooley were part of a fence setup. Bought stolen goods, sold them out west. The Cross-State Trucking Company was just a blind. Well, that just about cleans it up, Toby. You see, Mike probably suspected something, and they were afraid he'd go to the police. That's why they killed him.
Sure, I knew it was that way. Thanks, Mr. Diamond. Well, I better get back to town. Ziggy's got me matched tonight.
Good luck, Toby.
Thanks. Say, Mr. Diamond, I'd sure like to have you and the lieutenant come watch me wrestle tonight.
Thanks, Toby. Maybe some other time.
Oh, it'll be a great show. Tonight's my turn to win.
Yeah, well, we'll see. So long, Toby.
So long.
Rack. Yeah. That connection between Mike Burton and this racket didn't sound kosher. Was that for the record?
No, Walt. But Toby will never see the record. Oh, Helen, honey, please. Cut that Victrola off, will you?
Rick, you still didn't tell me if Mike really intended to get mixed up with Fenner and Cooley.
Well, he did. That's where he was getting the extra money he spoke about to Toby. Oh, excuse me.
Rick, where are you going?
I'm just going to shut this guy off. He's putting me to sleep.
Oh, I suppose you could do better.
Well, you think not? Honey, just sit down and listen to me. Pale hands I loved beside the Shalimar. Where are you now? Now tell me, honey, how do I rate alongside that suffering crooner on the record?
That record happens to be an original release. The suffering crooner is Enrico Caruso.
Oh. Where does a guy go to slash his wrist?
Dick Powell will be back in just a moment. And now, once more, here's your Rexall family druggist.
No faster-acting aspirin made. That's Rexall aspirin. Yes, when taken with water, the 5 full grains of pure aspirin contained in every Rexall aspirin tablet are ready to go to work for you even before they reach your stomach. So next time you have a headache, remember Rexall aspirin. There's no faster-acting aspirin made. Ask for Rexall aspirin at Rexall drugstores everywhere. And remember, you can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those who recognize it, the future is for sale. You can buy it now, today.
You can buy it by saving. And there's no surer, more profitable means of saving than through the purchase of United States savings bonds. In the first place, United States saving bonds are safe, guaranteed by your country. Moreover, they put your saving dollars to work for you. For every $3 invested today in Class E bonds, you'll receive $4 back in just 10 years when the bonds mature. So make sure of the years ahead with United States savings bonds. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's script was written by Harold Jack Bloom and Joe Moorheim. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. And this is Dick Powell asking you to listen in again next Wednesday at this same time when we do it all over again. Please listen in. I'm going to hit somebody on the head. Good night, everybody.
You have just heard transcribed Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. This is Bill Foreman speaking.
Hiya, beautiful.
Get lost, Bristlepuss. You need a shave.
But I have shaved. What else do you want me to do?
Silly boy, she wants you to go Stag.
Go Stag? But why?
Because Stag is Rexall's exclusive line of men's good grooming aids, like Stag Brushless Shave Cream. No fuss, no massage, just smooth it on, and presto, you get a clean, close shave. Your face stays smooth and whiskerless all day long.
I'll do it. I'll go Stag.
That's it. Join the Stag line now at Rexall drugstores everywhere.
Yes, to make girls care. Go Stag.
Jack Late tells stories of the underworld, Friday on NBC.